This episode on Tales from the Tabletop, the big bad evil guy, how he almost decimated the entire party with his strategic mind.
Or how he decimated us because of our stupidity. And slow wit.
I'm ready for a story.
Can you shut your dirty hole?
Okay.
You want a story? I'll give you a story. I'll give you a fricked up story. This story is about the final battle of the first arc of our campaign.
Okay.
This campaign lasted for about 6 years. This first arc probably ended about a year or two in.
Mm-hmm.
This arc revolves around the BBEG, Big Bad Evil Guy, Leon Felder.
Right.
We've encountered Leon Felder a few times before the final battle. Leon is hard to kill.
Yeah.
Because he's a vampire. Mm-hmm. And he can turn into smoke. Being a vampire, his goal is, to quote Leon himself, sustenance.
Yes.
He wants blood.
He needs to feed.
He wants a lot of blood. He is also kind of losing his mind.
Yeah.
Being a vampire, he's lost the human side of himself, and he doesn't really remember a lot of his past life. So his goal is to get the orb, which at this point, near the end of the arc, he has the orb. The orb... What? What are you laughing about?
That was about how he got it.
Oh. The orb has the power to control an army of Warforged.
Yeah.
And now we know he basically has an army of Warforged with him. I should also say I'm playing Matthias Ramondo, as I'm always playing in this campaign.
Yeah. Every one of these episodes start with us saying that. I mean, I don't know why all these episodes are about Matthias.
He's basically the main character.
Well...
I'm telling it from Matthias' perspective,
okay.
And he'll have a big role in this story. The main city of this campaign is Pregor. Pregor is the main hub, so we basically come to the realization that his first target is going to be Pregor.
Naturally.
So, we race to Pregor. We get there, everything seems fine and dandy. Luckily, he hasn't attacked yet.
Plenty of time to make a plan.
Plenty of time. Or so we thought. Now, the party, which the party is known as the Slayer's Call, we gather in our guild hall, the Slayer's Hall.
Very creative naming.
Yeah, creative. We actually spent a long time when we first got the guild hall, coming up with the different floor plans of it. We even, I think you drew out the floor plans as we talked about it.
Yeah.
A few things about the guild hall. It's home to the bar. We have a bar in the guild hall. It is also the home to the shield of the Slayer's Call. Because technically this guild existed before our party. We just joined it.
Mm-hmm.
And this shield
it was created by the previous party.
The previous party from our previous game. So the shield is hung up on the first floor of the guild hall, and the shield has all the names of all the guild members.
It's a very important relic.
So basically it's all of our previous characters.
Yeah.
And also, now that we've joined this guild, it is our current characters that are on the shield. The shield has a lot of significance to us as players. Also, we have a blacksmith in the guild hall named John McTavish. Nice name. You want to tell us how you came up with the name for that one?
I had to give you someone with a southern name. He's also the one who made the shield.
Yeah, he crafted the shield. Yeah. And he's crafted a few items for us. We're at the guild hall in the planning room, planning how to defend the city. Pregor itself, the entire city, is surrounded by a large wall. The city is split up into 3 sections, or cells. You have the endo cell, the prime cell, and the cannon cell. I had to dig deep and get your help with the explanation of the city for this one, because I knew there was a specific way that this unraveled. The prime cell is the home of our guild hall, the Slayer's Hall. It's also the home to other guilds and various shops and things like that. The cannon cell is more for the upper class people, as well as it is the home of the Council of Pregor. And then the endo cell is where mostly civilians live. We're trying to think, who would Leon go after? You know, what cell would he attack first? We have limited resources. You know, we're not going to be able to defend every single cell at once. You'd think we'd just pick one, but we spend hours in real time, not in game time, in real time, discussing a strategy of how we're going to defend the city.
Yeah.
We're doing it all in character,
The
too.
stakes are high.
The stakes are high because, you know, we're very personally invested in this. Ultimately, as we're talking, we decide to reinforce the Indo cell, which is the cell where most of the civilians live, because we're like, we're going to defend the civilian population. As we're coming up with more strategy, you know, we have been talking for hours at this point, where we are informed that the attack has begun.
Yep.
We took way too long.
I remember you guys planning for a couple of hours and me thinking, well, this is taking way too long. I got to get them out of their funk. And it just makes sense for the attack to happen. So let's get it going. And I remember also at a certain point, time became a factor. So I just put a hourglass on the table.
Oh yeah, for when the attack was going to start?
Yep.
And we panicked.
Yeah. But that's a good way to get your players to do something.
Yeah. So we predicted wrong where Leon was going to attack. He attacked the cannon cell, directly going for the council building.
Yep.
So off we go to the cannon cell to defend the council, who are kind of a-holes, but we're still going to defend them because we don't want them to die.
I mean, this is where the front wave of the attack is happening.
And there are tons of Warforged attacking the city, killing civilians. It's a bit of a bloodbath, and this battle will come to be known as the Battle of Pregor. And it's this epic, you know, machine versus man type scenario.
Now, luckily, you guys had prepared for this point, and you knew where the Warforged weakness was.
Yeah. So we're taking out Warforged left and right. However, Leon is not here. He's more of a strategic mind than we are. Leon has drawn us away from our guild hall. And we realize that's where he is. So we do know the only way to stop all these Warforged is to get the orb. So obviously our goal is to find Leon and stop him and get the orb so that the Warforged will stop attacking. So we now know for sure he is at the Slayer's Hall, our guild hall. So you'd think, being a competent party, we would regroup and attack the guild hall in force.
Yeah, seems like a good idea.
You would think that.
I would.
Some of our party disagreed.
Right.
About half the party can fly.
It's always a good idea to split the party.
Let's just say we didn't do it again after this.
You say you never split the party again, but in the other episode, you split the party on that dragon encounter.
Yeah, that's true.
They never learned.
At some point, we learned. We learned at some point. I was against it. Just for the record. I want to be on the record as saying I was against us splitting up, but we did anyways.
Now, on the other scenario, you were the one who led it.
Yeah, that's true. All right. You conned me out on this one. You're right. I'll take responsibility for that one because I'm the only one who got hurt.
But not this one.
I'm pretty sure the only members of the party who didn't immediately fly to the guild hall are me and Justin. Now, Justin has already died a couple times. He's kind of just, in the course of this campaign, he's kind of just going through different characters.
I think he went through 3 total. So 1 character every 2 years.
He got pretty unlucky. We're just gonna call him Justin for instead of his character names.
Frick, that's brutal, dude. Darn.
I feel bad for him. I really do.
His characters were cool.
Me and Justin head towards the council building on foot. You know, you have to
stealth by a bunch of Warforged.
Yeah,
so it's a bit of a slower process.
Okay. I'm reliving this as we're saying it, and I'm getting hurt. All right, so we get to the guild hall, and it is bloodbath. The entire party has gone down. Edward Mann, my character's best friend, unconscious. 1 party member, straight up dead. Our loyal blacksmith, John McTavish, he is also dead. There's 2 party members left, me and Justin.
You're already bloodied.
Yeah.
From the previous encounter with the Warforged.
It's getting dire. It's starting to look like a potential TPK, and that's on us.
And look, if it's a TPK, that's an opportunity to take the campaign in a completely different direction.
The only thing I can think of at this point is to stall for time and hope something is going to happen. So, Matthias is a swordsman. He trained with a rapier, and he trained with his brother Sebastian in dueling. So Matthias steps up and he challenges Leon Felder to a one-on-one duel. Leon agrees. What's the worst that could happen? Matthias is bloodied. and Leon has beat Matthias before.
Yep.
So they begin fighting. Now I'm mostly just stalling for time, because I know I can't beat Leon Felder alone in single combat.
It is a pretty iconic moment when you challenge him, though.
But I'm playing dirty. Because the city and potentially the rest of the world is at stake. I see out the window, as I'm fighting Leon, some fan favorite NPCs. You know, every party gets attached to some NPCs. And 2 have come to help us, Athena and Aldrin.
Yep.
Actually, both monks. They probably realize the party's pretty stupid sometimes. We ought to help them out. So, I'm getting ready to basically be like, alright, now. And we're all gonna attack. Unfortunately, he has a few Warforged with him as well, so it's not gonna make the fight that much easier, but
yeah.
At least we have backup. Matthias, Justin, Athena, and Aldrin all begin an assault on Leon. Our goal is to kill Leon. He has the orb somewhere on his person.
Right.
This is an epic battle. And truly one of the more difficult fights.
I remember it pretty well.
We're getting his health lower and lower, but eventually I believe Athena and Aldrin both go down. And Matthias and Justin are both going down as well.
It's a scenario where like one person goes down, and then they get a health potion, they get back up, and then the other person goes down.
And then they're fed a health potion or are healed.
That happened a few times. It was getting to in a very bad spot.
We were about to fail. And then, this is one of the most epic parts, epic things I've ever experienced playing D&D. I believe I borrowed a die from one of my dead party members and rolled it to attack and got a nat 20. And I'll never forget that nat 20. Probably the most epic nat 20 I'd ever gotten.
Yeah.
When I rolled it, everyone cheered so loud. I still remember how loud everyone was cheering.
Really? I remember that.
Whenever I rolled that nat 20. And you were like, you know, how do you want to go? Man, that felt good.
A wave of relief, I'd imagine.
Yeah, so the way I like to describe doing it is the shield had fallen from the wall. The shield of the Slayer's Call with all our names on it had fallen off the wall that John McTavish had crafted, who is now dead. And Justin gets Leon onto his back. And as he's down, I take the shield and just raise it. And I bring it down on his neck and decapitate him with the shield of the Slayer's Call. It was freaking epic.
Yeah.
So that would be the end of Leon Felder. We actually, he was decapitated and we burned his body.
Just to be sure. That was definitely had a presence that lingered throughout the rest of the entire campaign.
Lasting consequences, because also what was revealed, I think maybe this session after this one, was that Edward Mann had been bitten by Leon.
He was now a vampire.
So we had to deal with that for the next arc.
Yep. Yeah, that one was pretty harrowing. That definitely came down to one round. If you had not rolled really well, it would have been probably a TPK.
Yeah. Surprisingly, that's happened for a few final battles.
I guess it's impressive you were able to make a comeback from the pretty detrimental planning phase.
Yeah. Hopefully in future episodes we'll be able to discuss how we became a strategic party.
No.
I hope so.
I don't think so.
I hope so. I have this D20 here. If I roll natural 20, you have to subscribe and like the video.
One roll. Only one try. No cuts.
Let's do this. Hey, that's a nat 20, baby.
That looks
it's right
like a
here.
Natural 20
right here in front of my hand.
Hey, you know what that means? You heard it earlier. You have to subscribe and like.
So do it. That was crazy. That's a 1.
Don't tell them that.